In a world where time marks every moment of our lives, what would happen if our bodies simply stopped aging? This is the story of the day humanity lost aging. November 3rd, 2026, midnight. Across the planet, something extraordinary happens. Cell division stops responding to time. Telomeres stop shortening. DNA repair mechanisms freeze at their current state. At exactly midnight, every human body on Earth locks into its current biological age. Forever. Yuki, a 67-year-old grandmother in Kyoto, wakes up the next morning expecting her usual joint pain. It's gone. She looks in the mirror. The wrinkles are still there, but when she touches her face, her skin feels different, firm, alive. "I feel like I'm 30 again," she whispers. "But I look 67. In Lagos, David, a 19-year-old university student, celebrates his birthday with friends. He blows out the candles, not knowing it's the last birthday that will ever matter. From this moment, he will be 19 forever, biologically, permanently, unchangeably. In Boston, Dr. Chen, a 42-year-old oncologist, examines her terminal cancer patients. The tumors have stopped growing, but they also haven't shrunk. Her elderly patients with dementia aren't getting worse, but they're not getting better either. We've stopped aging, she realizes with horror. But we haven't stopped being sick. Within days, scientists confirmed the impossible. Human aging has ceased. Children stay children. Adults stay adults. The elderly remain elderly, but none of them deteriorate further. A 5-year-old will stay 5 forever. An 85-year-old will stay 85 forever. Your body's current state is now permanent. At first, the world celebrates the cure for aging. Humanity's oldest dream realized. No more deathbed goodbyes. No more watching parents fade. No more fear of growing old and frail. Yuki reunites with her daughter, who is frozen at 42, and her granddaughter, frozen at 16. 3 generations, all permanent. "We'll have eternity together," Yuki says, tears streaming down her eternally 67-year-old face. "I'll never lose you to time." A global economy transforms overnight. Life insurance becomes meaningless. Retirement savings become infinite. Pension systems collapse because nobody retires. Ever. David plans his future knowing he has unlimited time. "I can spend 50 years mastering music, and 50 years studying physics, and 50 years traveling. I have forever." Dr. Chen watches as nursing homes empty. The elderly, frozen in their current state, realize they will never get worse. They're fragile, yes, but permanently so. "I'm 89 forever," one patient tells her. Not great, but better than being dead. Philosophers celebrate. Artists rejoice. "Imagine the masterpieces we'll create with infinite time," they say. Relationships deepen knowing partners will never age apart. Families stay together eternally. Humanity has defeated death. 2 months pass. The first cracks appear. Yuki sits in her garden, watching cherry blossoms fall. She's seen this exact sight 67 times before. She'll see it infinite more times. Forever. When does it become meaningless? She wonders. When nothing ever changes? The 5-year-olds frozen as children begin to understand. They will never grow up, never become teenagers, never fall in love, never have adult experiences. A mother holds her daughter, frozen at 3 years old, and realizes she'll be carrying this toddler for eternity. Never potty trained, never in school, never independent. Forever. David walks through his university campus. He's been 19 for 3 months now. His friends are all 19, 20, 21, frozen at their current ages. But something feels wrong. "We're not gaining wisdom," he tells his professor, frozen at 55. "We're just accumulating information. Without aging, without mortality, do we actually mature?" Dr. Chen makes a devastating discovery. Children born before the freeze aren't developing. A 2-year-old patient should be learning to speak in full sentences. Instead, she's frozen at her current vocabulary. 50 words, forever. Infants frozen at 6 months will never walk, never talk, never grow. They re-trapped in baby bodies with minds that will expand infinitely, but bodies that will never keep up. 6 months without aging. The horror becomes clear. Marriages between different frozen ages become grotesque. A 25-year-old married to a 60-year-old means the 60-year-old will forever look old while their partner looks young. The visual gap becomes unbearable. Divorces skyrocket. I can't kiss someone who looks like my grandfather, a frozen 22-year-old says about her frozen 50-year-old husband. Not for eternity. Society stratifies by frozen age. The young frozen become elite. The old frozen become outcasts. Nobody wants to associate with the elderly-looking immortals. You're 85 forever, they say. We're 25 forever. We're not the same. Yuki watches as her granddaughter, frozen at 16, stops visiting. Grandma, you're lovely, but you'll always look 67. I'll always look 16. People think you're my great-great-grandmother. It's embarrassing. Yuki sits alone in her house, frozen at 67, realizing she'll spend eternity looking old while feeling young. The worst of both worlds. 1 year after day 0, the suicide epidemic begins. Those frozen as elderly choose to end it. What's the point? They ask. Infinite life in a body that's permanently frail? Permanently in pain? Permanently old? Dr. Chen watches as her 89-year-old patient, frozen in a wheelchair, terminates her own life. I wanted to die at 90, she writes in her note. Now I'll never reach 90, and I'll never escape 89. So I choose nothing. David, frozen at 19, falls into despair. I thought infinite time would give me infinite possibilities. But I'm realizing infinite time means infinite repetition. I've already experienced everything my 19-year-old brain is capable of processing. Now it's just again, and again, and again, forever. The children frozen under 10 develop a collective madness. They understand adult concepts, but are trapped in child bodies. They speak with the wisdom of ancient philosophers, but look like kindergartners. Society doesn't know how to treat them. They form their own communities, eternal children, forever young, forever incomplete. Dr. Chen publishes her final research paper. We didn't stop aging. We killed change. Without change, there is no growth. Without growth, there is no meaning. We've condemned humanity to eternal stagnation. The young are frozen before they mature. The old are frozen before they find peace. We're all trapped. The frozen babies become the greatest tragedy. Minds growing infinitely in bodies frozen at 6 months old. Unable to speak. Unable to move. Unable to communicate. But fully aware. Fully conscious. Fully trapped. Their parents must care for them forever, looking into eyes that contain centuries of thought, but can never express it. Yuki makes her decision. She writes a letter to her granddaughter, frozen at 16, who will outlive her by eternity. I'm sorry I chose to leave, but infinity at 67 is not a gift. It's a prison. I love you, but love requires the possibility of loss. Without endings, there are no beginnings. Without death, there is no life. Just existence. David sits on a bridge, frozen at 19, contemplating the infinite stretch of identical years ahead. We thought we wanted forever, he says to himself. We were wrong. Mortality wasn't the curse. It was the deadline that made everything matter. Now, with infinite time, nothing matters. Why do today what you can do in 1,000 years? Why love deeply when love will become routine after centuries? Why create when you have infinite time to create? Urgency is dead. And with it, meaning. Because on November 3rd, 2026, we didn't gain eternal life. We lost the ability to grow, to change, to end, and therefore to truly live. We became permanent, unchangeable, frozen, and we learned too late that being alive isn't about lasting forever. It's about burning bright in the brief time we have. The next time you notice a new wrinkle, a gray hair, a sign that you're aging, don't mourn it. Celebrate it. You are changing, growing, moving through time. You have the gift of a deadline, the gift of mortality, the gift of mattering now, not later, because you won't last forever. And that's exactly what makes you alive.